Marisella, known from the sunken spire to the kelp forests for her magnificent waist-length hair the color of spun sea foam, had declared a party. But not the usual kind, with bioluminescent jellyfish lights and conch shell horns. This was a DIY hairstyling soirée, and every mermaid from the local reef was invited. The venue was the serene, sandy amphitheater of the moonlit atoll, where giant clams held an assortment of treasures instead of pearls. Tonight they held tools. Wide-tooth combs carved from whalebone, ribbons woven from resilient seagrass, hairpins tipped with abalone shell, and clasps made from perfectly smooth stones. "Friends," Marisella announced, her voice a melodic bubble stream. "Our hair flows freely every day, but it can also tell stories, hold memories, and make us feel powerful. Tonight, we learn from each other. First, the fundamentals." Marisella began. "Before any style, you must detangle with care." She demonstrated, starting from the ends of her long tresses with the whalebone comb, working up slowly towards the roots. Always be gentle with your strands. They've endured currents and curious clownfish. The first volunteer was Coralia, a vibrant young mermaid with hair the color of living coral. "I want something that stays put when I'm racing dolphins," she declared. "Then we'll do the current-proof braid," said Lyra, a practical mermaid from the eastern currents. She parted Corellia's damp hair into 3 equal sections. A basic braid is simply right over middle, left over middle. But for strength, you pull each new section tight and add a little twist as you go. Her fingers flew, weaving the fiery strands into a thick, robust rope that she secured at the end with a seagrass ribbon. "See? It will barely flutter in a hurricane." Next was Anemone, who had a wild cloud of curly black hair that floated around her head like a dark nebula. "I want to see it, but I don't want to lose its spirit," she said shyly. For her, Marisella suggested the shell twist updo. "This is elegant and keeps your curls beautifully contained." She gathered Anemone's hair at the nape of her neck, as if making a loose tail. "Now, instead of a simple band, we twist the length itself into a smooth rope." She twisted the hair until it began to coil on itself. "Then, we wrap the twisted rope into a bun at the back of your head, and secure it with not 1, but 2 crossing abalone pins." The result was a sophisticated, textured knot from which playful curls escaped like tiny sea spirits. Anemone beamed, admiring her reflection in a polished piece of obsidian. For the mermaids with shorter locks, like little Pearl, they practiced the starfish accent. Pearl's silvery hair only reached her shoulders. Taking a small section from the front, Marisella showed her how to create a tiny, delicate braid along the hairline. "You weave this little river of hair," she whispered, "and then you pin it back just above your ear with a tiny pink starfish clasp." It was a subtle, magical touch that made Pearl feel utterly grown up. Then, for the adventurous, there was the multi-weave kelp net. This was an advanced technique taught by Thalassa, the eldest. She took several thin sections of hair from the crown and began braiding them. But instead of adding hair from the head, she wove in strands of delicate emerald green kelp ribbon. "You incorporate the ribbon as a 4th strand," she explained, her fingers moving like slow, wise sea fans. The result was a stunning, intricate headpiece that looked like a net of captured moonlight and seaweed. The party buzzed with joyful experimentation. Mermaids paired up, practicing the double fishtail braid, a more intricate plait that looked like scales, and the driftwood twist, where 2 sections of hair are twisted around each other before being pinned up. They shared tips. Use a little smooth sea silt paste to tame flyaways. Or, for extra shine, a single drop of lanternfish oil is divine. As the moon's light filtered down, casting shifting silver paths through the water, the atoll was a spectacle of aquatic coiffures. Hair was no longer just flowing. It was sculpted, woven, and celebrated. They had transformed their tresses into crowns, ropes, and works of art. Marisella floated to the center, her own hair now in a magnificent cascade of shells, where tiny hollow shells were threaded onto individual locks, creating a gentle musical clinking with every turn of her head. "Look at us," she chimed. "We didn't just style our hair. We shared our secrets, we learned new skills from the deep, and we made each other more beautiful." The DIY soirée was declared a tidal wave success. And as the mermaids swam home, their styled hair defying the ocean's pull, they carried with them more than just new looks. They carried the knowledge that community and creativity could make even the most familiar waters feel wonderfully new.